Hey y'all, it's Miss Mother Trucker here. How y'all doing? Just decided to do a live. I am sitting here waiting to do my 10-hour break. Hopefully everyone out there's doing really good, and I hope this time y'all can actually see me and hear me and all that stuff, because the last live it was just such a big failure. Let's see. And I know I don't give y'all any notice that I'm doing these lives. I had an accident with my eyeliner. It blew up. It's liquid eyeliner. Hopefully everyone's doing well. I'm very happy to be on my own truck now. Not my own truck, but a truck by myself. Student free. Thank God. Thank God, and Daryl's gone. Right. I'm just thrilled to death that damn crazy student's gone. So if y'all can give me some thumbs up, let me know you're in here. I'd appreciate it, and it also helps my channel. Hey, David. How are you doing, sweetie? Yeah, that was beyond a wild student. That actually scared me pretty bad. I'm telling you, that was crazy. But you know, it's real. Hey, T3 Trucking. But you know what really got me is some of the people in the comment section started blaming me for my students' actions and saying I was pushing him off on someone else. That's like breaking up with someone who beat you up, saying, oh, you just pushed your problem off on someone else. That's bullshit. Reported the dude to Prime for its temper, for refusing to drive and all that, and the nerve that someone can come into. Oh my gosh, you are my very first super chat. Thank you, baby. I appreciate it. H, that is awesome. I just monetized the channel, y'all. Y'all do not have to donate anything. But I kept having people say they wanted me to monetize. I did, and until now, I just made I'd made 24 cents on my videos. I'm just not that big of a channel. But thank you. That was so sweet. Oh, Hans, I appreciate that. That is so nice of you. Hey, Victor, I saw you in Chobani of Utah 2 months ago. Oh, well, wonderful, Victor. I hope we had a nice meeting there. Did we actually meet? Did you talk to me? Only the lonely. Hello, sweetheart. I donated if I'll donate if I want to. No one has to donate, though, please. I don't want anyone to feel like they have to, but I find it very sweet. Because, right now, trucking is a little bit hard. But I'll tell you, the relief I feel now that I'm on my truck and it is just me, that I don't have to worry about anyone else, is awesome. Headed to Open, Wyoming with a 853-pound load. I think my load is like 1,400 pounds, and I'm headed to Denver with it from California, and it's a dry load to boot. But I'll tell you, I keep wanting to look back. And when I'm driving, I've been having nightmares since this student got off my truck. Literal fucking nightmares. I kid you not. It's just, or I'll be driving down the road and I'll just be tense. And then as soon as I realize, no, he's not there, everything calms down, So I'm getting more and more used to it. Hi, I was the training pay. Was the training pay good? You mean to the trainer or the trainee? That I made actually less than I did as a solo, as a trainer. But of course, I'm just now solo, so I have not been solo in years. So we just have to see. I'll let y'all know in a couple of weeks. But I mean, my trainee a lot of times was making more than me. My last paycheck, I just got my last paycheck from having a student on my truck. It was for $200. Okay, the paycheck before that, I think, was around $1,800. The largest check I had with this student on the truck was, I think, $3,200. So it wasn't crap. Glad you okay. Just found your channel. Oh, well, that's sweet. And unfortunately, the horrifying story that was told was my introduction to your channel. I am so sorry, sugar. I am so sorry that was, it's sad that there are people like this in this profession. Yeah, but there's people like that in every profession. Just curious, why does the trainer pay instead of Prime? Yeah, Hans, I'm curious about that. Why does the trainer pay the student instead of Prime? I'm very curious of that myself. I don't think, and I think that, see, but Prime doesn't pay me to train, yet I'm paying to train their student. The idea is that we get all the money that comes into our truck. I think we should get all the money that comes into our truck. Plus, I think Prime should pay the student because they're not paying me to have the student on my truck and train them. So, you know, I don't know. But the thing is I have had students put on my truck that had gotten out of prison, and I wasn't told that they had been to prison. Stuff like that. So, but that student actually was a little bit weird. I mean, I think he had a form of Tourette's or something, but I didn't find out he had been in prison until after he actually drove us over the border into Canada on accident, and they were, you know, asking questions about, you know, had you ever been to jail or prison? I'm like, no. And he's like, yeah, I've been to prison a couple times. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? You know, I mean, Jesus Christ. But this dude was strange. Oh man, he was a strange little ranger. But he ended up being okay. I mean, I didn't have any real problems off him. But like I said, I think he kind of had a form of Tourette's. So, you know, it is what it is. I can't, but I wasn't afraid of him. But this last student, I was, first couple times, he just caught me off guard with his screaming and yelling. And then after that, it was just kind of like, you know, it kept progressively getting worse. And then after I told him if it happened again, it would be his last time on the truck. And I regret doing that because that's what really scared me, and all the slamming stuff back there behind the curtain and, you know, different things like that. I just, I wish I would have never. Oh, that was so sweet. Love your channel, but need to get some sleep. Okay, Hans. Thank you, sweetheart. I appreciate it. And really, you really don't have to do the super chats, but that is so nice of you. That just, it's sweet. Thank you, darling. I appreciate it. But, and you drive safe, okay? And I'm going to be on here for a little bit, but then I got to get off like you and, you know, here before too long and get some sleep where I can get this load in. But, no, like I said, he just kept getting worse and worse and scarier and scarier. But that last time, I mean, Chris, hey, how are you doing? I'm doing really good now that I'm solo. I mean, I'm doing excellent. But like I said, that student, he was just batshit crazy, you know. And I mean, the thing is, you know, like, you learn people's triggers, you know what might upset them, and you know what to avoid. This dude, there was no triggers. It was just, everything could be like calm. We could be having a conversation about whatever, and then all of a sudden he'd flip the script and just start screaming and cussing and yelling. And I'd be like, you got to be damn kidding. You know, this dude is out of his ever-loving mind. And it just scared the piss out of me, and I wasn't going to do it. Checking in from Oregon. Alrighty. I subscribed to your channel the other day. Well, thank you, Curtis. I appreciate you subscribing, sweetheart. You know, and man, I'll tell you, I am so lucky to have the subscribers I have. Y'all treat me so good. I mean, every once in a while we get the trolls that pop in on the channel and they just want to, it's like they're digging through shit to just say something instead of something positive. They're always wanting to criticize. They're always wanting to come at you. And I don't get that negative behavior. I don't understand it. It's just weird to me. Oh, Curtis is coming at us from Louisiana. You know, I used to live in Metairie back in the day. And then when I was a dancer, I danced on Bourbon Street and off Bourbon Street at a couple bars. Now that was a time. The most money I ever made in one night as a dancer was in dancing for the vice president of Shell Oil, and it was at the Artist Cafe just off of Bourbon Street, and I made 54 grand in one night. That was a shit ton of money. And how it worked is up in the VIP, they could buy us these $10,000 bottles of champagne, and you split it with the bar. So we had these big planters beside us, right? And they had like moss on top, but underneath it was just hollow buckets. So when he'd buy those bottles of champagne, and he was looking over there, I'd just pour it right out. And then I'd invite all the other girls over. Hey, come on over. Y'all want some champagne? I heard you say you live in... I do live in Quartzsite, Arizona. You know it? It's on I-10. In fact, I think I did a video or two driving around the desert in Quartzsite. I love Quartzsite. It's an awesome place. But anyway, so what we would do is we'd just pour the bottles out, and I'd fill all the other girls, and then they'd buy me another bottle. Then, you know, I'd have them get table dances off the different girls, stuff like that. So everyone made money, but I made a shitload. You just moved to the Phoenix. Yeah, Phoenix is not far at all from Quartzsite. Did you buy a house, Saul, or did you, are you renting an apartment, or what are you doing? I just bought a home there in Quartzsite. It's a small house, you know, on a small lot in an HOA. But I really like it, you know. But yeah, I love the Phoenix area. Actually, I really like the Phoenix area. And that's where I'll be dropping my trailers when I go on home time. It's just sad. It's nice to see so many women in the industry, in trucking. Then we get weirdos like that guy. Yeah, he was a strange ranger that give them yet another reason to feel unsafe. You know what though? Guys like that jackass that was on my truck, stay safe. I will, sweetheart. Thank you. And that's the Wander over the road. Saving $1,000 a week as a company driver for Joyride. Nice. That's what you're saving or earning. And what are you paying? And are you buying a house, or are you paying rent in Phoenix? Curtis used to live in Louisiana. Okay, I'm not familiar with that. That is where I am originally from, but I moved to the North Louisiana. Do you drive to Louisiana sometimes? Very rarely do I go to Louisiana. Saving in the bank $1,000 a week. Yeah, I usually save around well, I don't know lately, because I've had some $200 and $300 weeks and minus 400 weeks with a student, because my student always made what they made, and they made anywhere from 900 to 1400 a week on my truck, and I could go in the hole. Prime didn't give three rats about that, which is fine, you know. But now that I'm solo, I'm sure I'll do fine, because I've been talking to some of my ex-students, and they're making good money as solos. So what the hell, why not? I make $1,600 a week gross and $13 net. And you're living on $300 a week. Didn't you just say you just moved to Phoenix? So are you paying rent somewhere, or you just living on your truck? No, I really enjoy the Arizona area, and I love living in Arizona. Really taking home 1,300. You live in the truck. I know I just bought a place, but my mortgage is only with homeowners insurance, taxes. They're all figured in to my mortgage. I think I pay 13 something or 12 something, almost 1,300 a month. But I'm going to pay my mortgage off early. Hey, Barry. Hello. Currently sitting in Indiana waiting to pick up my load. Are you with Prime, or who you drive for, sweetheart? Load in the AM. Yeah, I'm just doing my 10 hours down, and I'm getting this load on into Loveland, Colorado, and getting it delivered. You know, I'm glad we have like a 10-hour clock, but damn, in some ways I'm not. I mean, it keeps customers from taking advantage of drivers and forcing them to drive tired. But damn, there's a lot of times I could easily drive a, 15, 16-hour shift without batting an eyelash. So I really hate having to shut down, but then, it is what it is. I'm learning about real estate to make positive cash flow. Absolutely. It'd be nice. Yes, Prime going on 3 weeks solo. So how do you like being solo? But no, speaking of good investments, also, I guess you're saving up to buy a place cash or to finance a place and rent it out. I mean, I think that's really a good, solid way to invest is in real estate. Yes, I've been with Prime for 3 weeks now. Okay, so you did not train at Prime, you just came to Prime. So what made you decide on Prime, and how do you like it so far? You're leasing at Prime, right? Yeah. So how do you like it? Because I've been with Prime for years now. I do enjoy Prime. But at times it's rough, and I will never be a instructor again. Yes, I rent a 4-bedroom house in Phoenix. Okay, you rent one out to someone, or you bought, or you're actually a renter. Solo, and the only way to be in my opinion. I'm kind of agreeing with you now. I think solo is the only way to be. I love, now that I'm solo again, it's just so much more relaxing. Like, we would not be able to do this live right now. I caught a few lives here and there, but and also I didn't get to cook on the truck as much. I save money, and I'm not paying a student whether I make money or not. I want to rent in the future. You want to rent your home out in the future, or do you want to rent a home for yourself in the future? If I were young as a trucker, like, I don't want to rent my little house to anyone, but I think it's a brilliant thing to do, to buy rental properties, and I'd like to find a duplex somewhere to rent out, not to ever live in, just for a rental income. Because you think how much you would have to invest in a 401k to make $1,400 a month per side, so that's $2,600 a month. How much you would have to invest in a 401k to bring in that kind of money, or how much you would have to put into stocks and bonds. But one of my students, and I think that's brilliant, Sal. I think that is really a brilliant thing to do, buying real estate. Have y'all thought of it? Anyone else can share what kind of investments you might be looking into or thinking of doing? One of my students bought some stock. He put $12,000 into it about a year ago, and he is actually on that $12,000 he just sold that stock, keeping his original $12,000 in the stock, leaving $12,000 in. He made $72,000 in a year. And I mean, I am so proud of him. But I love real estate, I really do. Prime is great, and zero complaints so far. My dispatcher is making the difference, but I've never had to set for a load or making money. Yeah, Prime has been really good to me. I have accomplished a lot since being at Prime, but I've been kind of spoiled because I was here all through COVID. My credit went up to 723 now, and put down payment on a 4-bedroom, and you're going to rent the 4-bedroom out to someone. I think that's brilliant. So I think it is. How old are you? And just asking, because I mean, you could really have a nice future. I wish more young people would be thinking about investing in real estate, because stocks and everything go up, down. You might make money, you might lose money, so you really gotta kind of look at it and see. Real estate, once you make your initial investment back, it's all profit, and you usually can make your initial investment back within 7 years. You should consider getting your broker's license on the side. Order the books and study before you get to sleep each night. You will be surprised on how quick you can get. Okay, you're talking about getting your broker's license. The Wanderer OTR, a broker like for doing freight, or are you talking about a real estate broker? I used to be a real estate agent, actually. I've done a lot of stuff in my life. Oh my God. I was a Pinkerton for a while before Securitas bought them out and disbanded them. I was an exotic dancer. I was a dog groomer. I used to show dogs. I used to show horses. I was a horse trainer. I owned a horse carriage company. I used to own a pet shop and grooming shop, 2 different ones. I used to be a commercial cannabis grower. I've done a lot of stuff in my life. For real estate, yes, I absolutely agree. And from state to state, it depends. As far as real estate goes, for like some states require you to be a realtor for a couple years in their state before you can apply for your broker's license. Some states you can, just apply, get your real estate license and your broker's license at the same time. So, I just don't want to get another real estate license. My realtor license was for in Alaska. Same here. Jack of all, master of none, never a dancer. That right? Well, I was a dancer, and I was actually one of the highest paid dancers and earning dancers, feature dancers in the country. I used to eat fire, did fire dancing and everything. I was actually really good at it. But I became a mother, and no more dancing, And everyone's like, well, everyone makes mistakes. Now, bitch, I didn't say it was a mistake. Oh, hell no. It was a different time in my life. I could not do it now, even if I were still young and gorgeous. After I had kids, kids change you. You know, everything that was okay before kids was no longer okay after kids. Not that I think there's anything wrong with being a dancer. There was nothing wrong with it. But I just couldn't mentally do it anymore after I had my kids. You know, I mean, my kids were my entire life. But being a horse trainer could do that. I really enjoyed it, and I was really good at training horses. I really enjoyed showing dogs. Being a Pinkerton, that was kind of cool, but, you know, just because of the history of the company. I could put it off like you. Sounds like a blast, though. My ex was a dancer. She was pure fun and good vibes. Yeah, some dancers were awesome, some weren't. My brother-in-law is going to teach me to how to make money online. Yeah, I think that would be really cool, with the web-based AI software, and make $70,000 a month. Now that sounds cool. I wish I had the intelligence and the tech savviness to earn a living online. Like my sister-in-law, she's brilliant. She works from home. I'm sorry, if I could do what she does, she makes about as much as we do as truckers. If I could do that, I would be doing it from home or traveling in an RV, a nice RV, just staying here, staying there. And that was one of the appeals to me becoming a truck driver. That and COVID robbed me of everything because the governor shut down my horse and carriage business, all that stuff. And, you know, so all of a sudden I didn't have a way to make a living. But I think it would be awesome if I could do something like that. Because trucking, we see a lot of things but from the highway. I'm fixing on my next home time, and you know, when I drop off the trailer in Phoenix, I'm going to go look at some e-bikes, because I would really like to start getting off the truck more and going and doing things. And that's another advantage to being solo. You always have that downtime. You're not just dropping and going, dropping and going, dropping and going. Not so much dropping and going. In other words, you shut down, then your student takes over. Then your student shuts down, you take over. It's really all about networking. Yeah, a lot of things are about networking. This is true in trucking, in real estate, in business. And I tried to teach my kids that when they were young about, you know, hey, you got to be nice to everyone. Not because you will need them down the road, but if you ever do need someone down the road, you know, they know you as having honor, you have integrity, you're honest, you know, and all that matters. And I always try to teach my kids that. Take your time when you go, like when we had the horse and carriage business, take your time when you go into the feed store, talk to the people, ask them about their families. You know, all that matters. And me, I always genuinely cared about people that were in my realm or in my world. You know, how they were doing, how their families were doing and everything. And that always made a difference. Like if I ever had to go out of town, I'd tell my kids, hey, go down to the feed store, go to the grocery store, whatever. And I'd call up and say, hey, can you take care of my kids? You know, give them the feed for the week. I'll pay you when I get in, whatever. The farrier would come before I was shoeing horses. And they would always take care of things. I'm a tech-savvy tech support call center for 17 years experience, and trucking is new for me. I started at Prime. Okay, in 21, I believe I started at Prime in 20. So, yeah, I don't have much more time at Prime than you do. My parents were in trucking, so I'm second generation trucker. My uncle was in trucking. My cousins were in trucking. But it was all the guys were in trucking. None of us girls were in. So none of my brothers went into trucking. Of course, my mom, you know, but they looked to my brothers to be truckers. My sister became a nurse practitioner. I owned my own businesses. Um, but I'm the one of the kids that ended up as a trucker. So because I've always been kind of a nomad. I've always liked that nomad lifestyle as a military wife. That suited me. Because, you get bored. And by the time I was bored, we were usually going to another duty station. I was selling whatever business I developed there, if I developed one. And we got to move on. And I thought trucking's going to really fill this void. It didn't. It's different. It's nice seeing everything. But once you kind of gone all the routes that your company goes and stuff, you kind of get to a point after you do it again and again and again, it gets boring. Because you're like, oh man, this is so beautiful, but you can't really stop. I'm into photography. I can't really stop, get out, do the photos I want to do, stuff like that. And that was because I was an instructor. Now, as a solo, that's going to be kind of cool. I'm really enjoying that. I'm starting to enjoy things, and I'm going to be, and when I get my e-bike, I'm going to start going to the gym too. I used to be an RN during oh, wow. Man, that's rough. The nomadic lifestyle became my calling. I'm saying I've always been a nomad though. I was going to become an RV tech, and I went and also do RVs, deliver RVs for a living too. And because of the combined vehicle weight rating, my truck that I used to haul the horses to work with was a what was it, a 2-ton? And I wouldn't be able to haul but little bitty trailers because you got to go with your gross vehicle weight rating. Otherwise, I'd need a CDL. So that I started looking into CDL school and all this stuff, and I ended up, Prime came up, and that's how I ended up getting into trucking. I figured I'd do it 1 year. I don't think I could drive an 18-speed shifter shifting gears in a truck. Scared me, right? Not much scares me. And then Prime had automatic transmissions. That got me excited. Yeah, no, I thought I was going to be doing an 18-speed. That wouldn't have bothered me at all because I learned to drive on a standard. But yeah, no, it would have been more complicated for sure. But I have talked to my trainer, Jimmy and Pink, at Prime. And I thought about going back and getting my standard, but then why? All the major companies, most of the companies have moved to automatics. They're not hardly making standards anymore, but I do enjoy driving a standard car or pickup, stuff like that. I love driving a standard. I don't know why. I just think it's fun. So, but yeah, make your time, and this is something that is important, y'all. Make your time out here count. We give up so much of our lives, and I gained so much weight. Now I'm losing the weight and getting back in. I train 2 students, but I prefer solo driving. I can't count how many students I've trained, and I'm never training again. Just watched your Highway Nightmare video. But you're okay. Okay. Which Highway Night? Are you talking about my training video? Yeah, that was truly a nightmare. Hey, can y'all give me some thumbs up? It'll help my channel a lot. I'd really appreciate it. Just kind of hit that thumbs up button. And if y'all aren't subscribers yet to the channel, if you have subscribed to my channel, I'd really appreciate it. Well, thanks, Misty. I'm really, it was scary. And yeah, training, I enjoyed helping a lot of people kind of get their CDLs, not CDLs, but get their training, their TMT training. and learning to be truck drivers and start their careers, because it's literally, for me, becoming a truck driver was life changing. Yeah, we're in a down market right now, but if I stop and think, okay, I came in 2000, okay, I stop and, okay, let's go back to beginning of COVID. And I'll let you guys know what I had and what COVID took from me and what trucking gave back to me. When I came into trucking, just before I came into trucking, I had my horse and carriage company, had a bunch of employees. I was doing really good, and I just started my commercial cannabis grow because Oklahoma just had passed cannabis. And I never was a pot smoker, drinker, or anything. I was, always a proud card-carrying member of the nerd herd. Yes, I was a dancer. They brought bottles of champagne. Mine got poured out. It's just not worth it. No, it's not worth training. It used to be, though, and I'll get to that. So anyway, I just invested, probably 75, 80 grand into the cannabis grow, buying lights, building out the rooms, all that stuff. And, that was awesome. It was great. It was fun because I was a homesteader before, so I really know how to grow things, and so I thought, okay, well, hell, I can, if I can grow corn, tomato plants, onions, I had a killer herb garden, could grow potatoes. I grew everything, and I canned everything. From green beans to grapes to, annuals, perennials, just pretty well everything. So I thought, okay, let me grow some medical marijuana, not a problem. And, but I had a big indoor grow for that. And I took my convenience store, which in restaurant, turned it into a big grow room, gutted it, turned it into a grow room. And I had just done my first crop and sold it, made a nice chunk of money. And I figured, I invested into expanding the grow rooms and everything. But when I did, I thought, okay, we're coming up on spring now. Winter for the horse and carriage company you shut everything down after New Year's Eve, because no one wants a romantic carriage ride downtown Oklahoma City during the middle of winter, unless it's like you're looking at Christmas lights and all that. So, but all these big draft horses, you got to feed them through the winter. You're spending, about $1,600-$1,700 a week just to feed these animals. And plus you got your warehouse fees in the city for all your carriages and all that. You got a lot of overhead. So yeah, you might be having a $10,000 night here, $15,000 night there. But come winter, you got to pay all those expenses over the winter. But then if you budget everything right, emergency vet fees, all that stuff, come spring when it kicks off, you're going to start making your money again. So anyway, we were coming up to spring, and I figured, okay, I'm going to go ahead and take all the money from that cannabis sale of that crop, and I'm going to invest and expand, and I'll use my horse and carriage company to support that. And I'd been in it for years, so I kind of knew how it went. I was going to use that to support the cannabis grow, because we're having $3,000, $3,500 electric bills every month because of all the grow lights. So anyway, then COVID hit. We went out twice, and the governor shut us down for being non-essential. And with that shut down, all my plants were just little seedlings. And I was like, shit, what am I going to do? All the horses have got to eat. I had like $10,000 in the bank. That's not going to last me even a month. And I thought, oh my God, and I've been just hugely paying down my mortgage. Just making, like, my normal mortgage payment was around $1,200 a month. I was paying around $10,000 a month to pay off my mortgage because I was divorced, and I wanted everything at the farm paid for. I wanted everything paid off. Then I was like, oh shit, I only owed like 20 something thousand on the mortgage. I only, I didn't have a whole bunch of bills, but I was like, what the fuck? What am I going to do? I'd never been in a pandemic before. And I had planned to sell the horse and carriage company because I was going to get into doing the whole nomad lifestyle, because I was kind of ready. I was going to sell the cannabis grow in about a year and sell the carriage company in a year. And I had a guy that had been offered me 100 something thousand for the carriage company. And I was like, no, 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 no. This is before COVID, because I still was working towards that goal of, go become an RV tech and do a little RV transportation, but mainly just travel and enjoy life. You'll have the farm paid off and blah, blah, blah. So I'd have my homestead and all that. And I just put that 100 and something thousand aside that I got off Dwayne, and that was going to be a little nest egg. I'd also put another couple $100,000 aside, with the cannabis grow and all that stuff. And then I'd sell the cannabis grow, because that was a separate property with the stores and everything else. So that was the plan. Then COVID hit, and I had it stretched myself too thin. So I ended up selling the farm for $30,000, because I thought, yeah, they put a moratorium on, your bills. No one could foreclose on you or anything, but that was going to end. I couldn't do the employee protection program because they said you might not have to pay that back. You had to listen to the fine print. So I'd never been in a pandemic before. So I sold the farm for, like I said, $10,000 above what I owed on it, because I didn't want to get it foreclosed. I didn't know how bad this pandemic was going to get. I sold the property. I had to destroy all the plants, because you got to show, you got to film destroying. You got to put, every time you plant a seed, when you have seedlings, you got to fill out all these forms to send into the state. It's really, really governed. And so I had to destroy everything, show everything destroyed. It was a hot mess. Everything was over all of a sudden. And so I sold that property. I actually did an owner finance on the store, restaurant, the grow property, to another grower out of California. And so that's what I did with that. And I walked away. My horse and carriage company, I sold for less than one carriage cost me. I sold all the carriages, all the horses. He got about $150,000 worth of horses and equipment for $20,000. So here I am setting with a check for two checks, one for 10 grand, one for 30, 10,000 above what I owed on the farm, and one for $20,000 for, oh God, probably $500,000 worth of stuff, because they sold my farm for, I think it was over 250,000-60,000 just a few months later, like 8 months later, but I panicked. So anyway, I wanted to go on to RV Tech school. I kept my truck, but like I said, the combined vehicle weight rating, couldn't do it, so I had to turn around, and I ended up being a truck driver. That's how I got into trucking. And I figured live on my truck, and I did. And doing that, I bought 40 acres there in Portal, Arizona, in a big touristy area, and I still own that. I bought it cash. Bought 8 acres in Florida. Then I bought this home, but I did finance the home. But I also gained all that weight. Then I lost the weight, and now I'm kind of getting my groove back and tuning everything up. So I was able to help my son out when he got injured, paid his salary, the equivalent of his salary for 12 weeks. I've been able to help my kids out financially. I've been able to give my mother an income, an extra income, weekly income. I have done so much and helped my brother out after his divorce. There's been so much that trucking and being at Prime has done for me. that, I mean, I would have never been able to just go out and buy 40 acres in Arizona cash. I would have never been able to buy my land in Florida. I would have never, well, I could have mortgaged the property that I did mortgage there in Quartzsite, but I had that thing paid off within 2 or 3 years. So, you know, we were making, I mean, fat stacks as a trainer at Prime. I think my best week at Prime as a trainer. Now, this is during COVID when we were just really killing it, was $12,000 take home. That was to my bank account. That was not gross to the truck. That was take home. Okay, let me catch up on the comments. Oh my gosh. It is just not worth training. No, it's not worth training anymore. Did you ever see a UFO on the road? Yeah, I've seen unidentified flying objects, but they could have been military planes. My friend tried to get me to partner with him on his cannabis grow. I decided to stick with nursing, which I think you're very smart. My sister's a nurse practitioner. Now I am getting through trucking, and he owns an airplane. Nice. Life is a trip. Yes, it is. Yeah, COVID switched up everything, lives, careers. Yeah, it did. We lost my nephew during COVID. Almost lost a second one to COVID. But he survived, and now he's in the military. Good for you. You did well for yourself. Post-COVID has not been easy. No, really, post-COVID hasn't. And it really has changed a lot of people's lives. But, you know, we're always going to look at COVID, pre-COVID and post-COVID. We're going to look at life pre-9/11 and post-9/11. Because it's changed us. Those events have changed us. And you think, you know, all of us millennials, we have seen, not millennials, I wish I was a millennial, Gen X. We have seen so much in our lives, so much has changed. I mean, pre-9/11, after 9/11, and it's so weird. There's so many people out here now that will never know what the world was like before 9/11. I remember when me and my girlfriends, we would get in my convertible and drive onto the military bases, you know, just in bikini tops, waving to all the boys and stuff. It was such a fun time. I had so much fun in the 70s and 80s, y'all. I mean, oh my God, it should be a sin. Well, it was a sin, some of the things I did in the 70s and 80s, but we won't talk about that, will we? But it was a blast. I mean, and growing up in the 70s and 60s and 70s, it was fun. Life was so different back then. And I grew up in mostly California, but then I spent some of my childhood years in Colorado and Washington State. Yet, very true. Pre-9/11 was different as post-COVID. It was. I mean, it was so different. Life was so different before COVID, before 9/11. Each of these major things I never thought. I'm just getting on an airplane with, oh man, I'm telling you. I remember when they had smoking sections on airplanes, and they had real meals. I mean, nice dinners on airplanes and stuff. It's just so different now. Everything's different. I remember flying to Europe and getting Euro passes, and you could just go all over Europe on a train for 30 days for, I think it was $75, getting on and off when you would want it, whenever you wanted. I mean, the world's just changed. It's not the world we grew up in. I really feel sorry for a lot of these younger people because they'll never know the world we grew up in. I remember the world post-AIDS. You know, before AIDS came out, and everyone's like, oh, it's just a faggot disease and stuff like this, you know, and I got a lot of gay friends, so, you know. But that's what they would call it, just, and then I think it was called grid back then or some shit like that. Well, smoking on airplanes before my time. Well, it wasn't before my time, sweetie. In less than a year and a half, I'll be 60. But I could just, remember all that. And then, we didn't think much about it because it was just gay people that were affected by AIDS. And then next thing you know, Ryan White happened, a little kid with hemophilia. And yeah, that was really sad. That was heartbreaking for me. Are you inward-facing cameras? I have inward-facing cameras, but no, they only come on when the truck gets over, I think it's 5 or 6 miles per hour, and then after, I think 3 minutes, they shut off of me being parked. Yeah, grid. Yeah, that was crazy. I mean, because I was modeling back then, so I had a lot of gay friends that were either the makeup artists. Yeah, this is from an eyeliner accident. My eyeliner pin broke. It was sad. Not 60 yet. I still got a year and a half and I'll be 60. I'm 58. So it really was sad though, seeing those people die, and there was no cure for it back now. Now people, it's not a big thing. There's still no cure for it, but there's a vaccine against it, and I think they have medication where you can live forever with it now. But I'll tell you, this world's gone batshit crazy, so I'm glad to be able to hide in my truck sometimes. Oh my gosh, I'm getting a low battery. Just a second, guys. I gotta plug this in. Okay. My tablet is threatening to die on me. It's like I'm gonna commit suicide. Oh wow, oh, that's so sweet. $20 in super chats. That's kind of cool. Okay, I think that's plugged in, right? Let's hope. Yeah, it's charging. But no, yeah, the cameras they haven't bothered me at all, actually. I haven't had any problems with them. They're kind of, one thing I do like, though, the part that does stay on 24/7 is the forward facing. So I have had, since I've been a truck driver, I had a yard dog clip me and then said I ran into him, and I was sitting still at the yard. And of course, none of their cameras were working, as far as, how anytime you go to a yard, cameras are always working, right? But when their yard dog hit me, all of a sudden their cameras weren't working that night. And then that got blamed on me because Prime said it wasn't worth going to court and fighting it. So but I said, okay, well, you don't think it's worth going to court and fighting it, so does that mean you're not going to charge me a deductible? No, you're going to pay the deductible. I said, that's bullshit. That I was pissed off about. And then another time, someone, we were closed, we were asleep, and a Warner truck hit me and took off and got away. And then, let me see. There's another time a guy hit me, and actually we caught him, and it was in a snowstorm. But, he tried denying it. For shit like that, I love outward-facing cameras because they do cover our asses. There is really no good point, nothing good of the inward-facing cameras. I don't see an advantage to it at all. But that being said, they're not really a hindrance to me, I mean, everyone's like, oh, well, what if they looking at you? So, all they're seeing is this part of me, and only when I'm driving. Otherwise, the camera's off. So, it really it doesn't bother me. It just doesn't. And when I'm driving, I'm not doing anything wrong. So, it doesn't bother me. Now, they would have been really nice to have had on my truck when that student was on here and he was flipping his damn noodle on me all the time, or God, I wish I was filming the freaking thunk when he was in there, spread eagle. You know, I mean, and giving me that smile and look like, hey, baby. And I'm like, oh, hell no, dude. I will turn you from a rooster into a hen just like that. Inward cameras. Yeah, we have inward cameras. I am Larry of any company that wants to put in cameras for personal safety. I'll put my own cameras in. No need to give any big corporate. You know, the Wanderer OTR, what he's saying is basically, I think I'm paraphrasing you. You guys can read his comment. He's kind of leery of any company that wants the inward-facing cameras. I understand that because I cannot see an advantage to having inward-facing cameras. They don't bother me. I would not quit a company or not go to work for a company just because of inward-facing cameras. I would have kind of liked to have had my own like you, just for safety reasons, you know, and having proof of this or that. But the one thing, if you are thinking of training at Prime, my experience with that student, and I've had a few students that acted fools, but nothing like that. Prime stood by me. They stood by me 110%. My dispatcher was going to throw that idiot right the hell off my truck right then and there, but I said, you know, I'm kind of scared. I don't want him to know he's getting thrown off the truck. I think he knows, but I don't want to confirm it, and me having to stop somewhere where he could just yank me back there and kill me, you know. But if I'm driving and don't have another stop, I'll send his ass flying right through that windshield if he attacks me, you know. So anyway, we got back to Prime, and, you know, y'all want to know what happened, go watch the video. I mean, he totally flipped. And, you know, y'all, they did not monetize that video. And I was like, what? I just monetized my channel, and that they didn't monetize the video. So up until I did this live, which I made $20 on it, which is really sweet. But up until I did the live, it said 24 cents. I made 24 cents on my channel. And I was like, yeah, well, you know, no use monetizing. But I went ahead and did it because a few y'all had asked me to do it. So I did it. But it's not a big deal. But, no, like I said, that is one thing that I do appreciate about Prime, that they do look out for us. They have looked out for us, and I think that when it comes to the trainers, they stand by you. But also, you know, when it comes to the students, there are some psychotic-ass trainers out there that shouldn't be training. So, you know, it's 10 of one, 3 of another. But anyway, gosh, it looks like y'all are just jumping off hell-bent for leather. Hot dog. Well, you know, I'll wait to see if a couple more people get on or don't get on. If y'all have any questions or you got any particular things you want to talk about, let's get on talking about it. Otherwise, I will go ahead and I will jump off here also if no one else has anything they want to talk about. I hope everyone out there is doing great. I appreciate each and every one of you for sure. And I will give it just a couple more minutes. We are 2 minutes from an hour. I'll stay on for 1 hour, and we just got a bunch more people just came on. I hear the horror stories on both sides. Yeah, I've heard horror stories on both sides. Kirsten, oh my God, she's had some crazy-ass trainees get on her truck. Well, I've got to take off. Okay, sweetheart. Wonder OTR is about to take off. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm not going to last much longer myself because I'm going to have to get some sleep before too long. But as far as inward-facing cameras, wayward students, all that, Yeah, there's been some trippy ones, but I'm going to last on here at least another minute, and then if I don't see it start to pick up or people start asking questions, I'm going to go ahead and jump off here too. So, this has been a nice little live feed. I've really enjoyed y'all, and thank you for the super chats. I appreciate that. Every little bit helps in this market. And it's going to help with the channel. And also, I've been wanting to do for a while some reaction videos. I think they're kind of fun. Talk to y'all soon. Absolutely. You get some rest, sweetheart. And I'm going to get off here before too long and do the same thing because I'm getting kind of tired. And all of y'all in here, can y'all give me some thumbs up? It's going to really help my channel. And if you're not subscribed to it, please give me a like. And hit that subscribe button, hit that notification button, because it'll let y'all know when I'm doing lives, when I'm coming on. And I'd like to get to a point I do lives every Wednesday night. But, you know, I just got to see how this whole solo thing's going. Because it would be nice to be able to pull over for an hour or so and take a break and go ahead and do a live. I think that would be kind of cool, and I really do enjoy it. Well, guys, I am down to 4 people again, and I've been on here over an hour, so I guess I'm going to make this my exit. Thank you again for joining me. Thank you for spending this time with me. I'm very grateful to you guys. Once again, thank you for the super chats. I think that was so sweet. It's not necessary, but it is appreciated. And y'all have a blessed one, okay? Until next time, this Mother Trucker out.